Wagwan, mi familia, welcome back. Glad you made it. It's a social production. That's right, we're doing it on February the 5th, 2025. Wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Canada, mi familia, hells yes, hello. Over there in the Quebecois, over there in Nova Scotia, over there in Vancouver. Oh, we'll get to Vancouver as well. Down south in the United States, as per usual. Further down south, Mexico, South America. Over there in East Europe, the Asias, the Africas, the islands, man, everywhere. The Asiatic nations, the stands, Papua New Guinea, of course, my favorite. One day, ladies and gents. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's halfway through the week. Hope you're. Oh man, if it's your first time, by the way, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? On Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel so you get the full-length videos. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri if you'd like to fiscally, financially support the show and watch this little show grow right before your beautiful, sexy eyes. God, your eyes are so sexy. I want to just take your eyes and just rip them out of your face and just buff them a little bit on my chest and then pop them back in because they're your eyes. Welcome back. It's Wednesday. You got two nuts, but do you really need them both? You got two nuts, do you really need them both? Cut off one of your nuts, one is a spare, that's what they don't want you to know. Cut one of your nuts off, cause it's motherfucking Wednesday. You got two nuts, one is a spare, think about it if you really think about it. One is a spare, that's why you got two nuts. Ladies and gents, it's you got two nuts. One is a spare, take a nail and a hammer. You got two nuts. You want nuts. Why would they give you two if they wanted you to not have a spare? Think about it. One is a spare. Which one is the spare one? Which one is the one you gotta hold on to? Got two nuts. You got two nuts. Ladies and gents, it's Wednesday. Let's get right into it. Let's have some fun. I'll tell you this. I've made a discovery. I didn't invent it, but I did make a discovery. Over the past few months, I've been experimenting with certain breakfast options for myself. Because your boy doesn't like to, here's the thing. I love eggs, bacon. If we can put in a little bit of cheese in there, make it a little bit of if I'm outside, I will definitely grab a McDonald's. All right, bacon, egg, and cheese McMuffin. Thank you very much. That's the thing. I love it, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Your boy's been a little bit too lazy to make it at home. All right, because it's on the go, on the grind, doing the works. So I thought to myself, okay, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go to the grocery store. I'm pretty sure they got pre-made little muffins with egg and cheese and maybe bacon inside of them, and get those pre-made ones. Pop them in the oven or the microwave. And you're good to go. You save a little bit of money, all right? And you still get the benefits of the egg, the deliciousness of the bacon, thank you piggies, and the cheese, of course. So I did that. I discovered something and I experimented with it. It's McCain's breakfast pockets, all right? Bacon, egg, and cheese. And I thought to myself, what's the difference? You eat bacon, egg, and cheese on a regular basis. McDonald's, thank you very much, with a coffee and a cigarette, let's go. No big deal. Regular, digestion is working fine. The intestines are, popping. Everything's working fine. Nothing out of the ordinary. But once I started to consume these breakfast pockets, I did start to notice something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what McCain's is doing. I've tried to search for other ones and, but I've not been able to find any yet. I'm on the prowl. I'm on the hunt, baby. Oh, if you make that little egg and cheese and bacon and some sort of a muffin or a wrap, I'm out there looking for you. But McCain's made one and your boy consumed it. And here's the thing, delicious. I'll dip it into different sauces, a little bit of hot sauce every now and again, or a little bit of barbecue, a little of that sauce, let's go. But then that's what I noticed. I noticed it has been impacting my farts, and it's definitely made a difference. I'll eat them. I don't know what it is. And it's the same ingredients, a little bit of, breading on the outside, melted cheese, you got your egg and you got your bacon, same ingredients. But I don't know what it is, but it does make me fart, and the farts do not smell pleasant. I'll be honest with you, the farts do not smell pleasant. As a matter of fact, it's a little bit scary. I did, and at first it was just like, no, this must be a mixture of all the things that you're eating through. It can't just be the bacon, egg, and cheese. It can't be McCain's, a household name that's been with us for centuries. I don't know how long they've been with us, to be honest with you. It's a household name. They've been with us for a long time. Let's not get into the nitty gritty right now. Long time. Oh, and I ate it, and it's delicious. And it's convenient too. You pop it in the microwave, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds. You got yourself a little Hot Pocket. No fuss over the oven. I don't have to wash any dishes. I don't mind cooking. It's the cleaning up after that. You're just, you're a single dude, you're a single lady, or you know what I'm talking about. You're out of your, mine's on the whatevs. Mine's on the, right there. You want to go get it. So I don't want to come back and wash dishes. I want to reduce washing dishes as much as possible. Sure, could I invest in a washing machine, a dishwasher? I could. Could I hire somebody to do that? I could. Could I get some beautiful illegals without papers to come over and wash dishes for pennies on the dollar? Of course I could. But I don't want to. Could I make them work overtime and not tell them anything about their rights? If I see them reading a book, can I snatch it out of their hand so that they can't learn the language properly, so that they stay in their place? Sure, I could do that, but I don't want to. It's too much work. So I just resort to the McCain's breakfast pockets, and it's outrageous. It's crazy what it's done to my farts, and I've had to make a decision. I dabbled, and I gave it a break. I said, you can't do this anymore. And then I went back on, it's convenient, I'll tell you that, but it's outrageous. I can't deal with it anymore. So that's scary. So that's just, something I discovered. It smells, everybody farts, not a big deal. It's, some of them smell, some of them don't. And it's, and you got degrees. Most often, most of them don't smell. Some of them do smell. Every once in a while, you will just let one rip that'll just, obliterate your, senses. It'll just burn your nose hairs. It'll just, you'll go into a tizzy. You will just start having flashbacks of all sorts of wars you weren't even involved in. It's crazy what it'll do to you. But these fumes are crazy. I can't deal with it anymore. So I said to myself, no more McCain's. We're gonna have to part ways. This relationship is no longer working for me. As much as I love the product, same amount of protein, give or take a little bit, and it saves your boy time. I can't do it anymore. It's crazy. It's like, and I don't know if it's just me, but I want you to, if you're out there, if you've experimented with this breakfast pocket, leave a comment. I don't know because if it's me, but I don't think it's just me, because I do eat regular other stuff and it's fine. You get a little bit gassy here and there, you let out a toot here and there, no big deal. But this one, it's crazy. It's like, I don't know, if it smells like dead bodies. That's what it smells. It is toxic. This thing is, this is how I think this is like, you can take my fart after I eat these McCain's breakfast. You could use them for if you want to torture somebody, if you want to if you got prisoners of war, if you want to get some info from somebody, I will bottle this shit up and sell it. Maybe that's what I should do. It's toxic, man. I'm telling you right now, it is radioactive. It smells like I ate a dead cat and the cat did not have a good diet either. It smells like something's rotting and it lingers. That's the thing too. It lingers. It's dense, boy. I'll tell you. So hindsight, 2020, you win some, you lose some. I'll say this. Discovered that the pizza pockets, the breakfast pockets, do not sit well with your boy. I have to give it a break. I'm telling myself no more. I am weak. I might go back. I don't know. We'll see. But on the bright side, if you do want to, this one will test your relationship. I'm telling you right now, I'm single, but I'm telling you right now, if you're in a relationship and you're like, I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but I don't have the heart to break up with him or her. I'm telling you right now, go to the grocery store right now. Get yourself a McCain's breakfast pocket, bacon, egg, and cheese. Pop a couple of those in the microwave. It is insane, McCain's. I don't know what the process is, because it's the same ingredients. Is it the fact that they've maybe they pre-cooked the eggs and the cheese and they put it in the pocket? Is that and then it goes into the freezers, it gets shipped, and then you put it in your freezer and you take it out, you defrost it thaws out. Is that, I don't know what it does to the chemicals, but this, freezing and thawing process apparently is, because it's the same ingredients, give or take, with probably a little bit of preservatives here and there, but nonetheless, same shiz. It's outrageous though. So all in all, I learned something. about myself, and I try to live with it. I try to live with it. I'm like, don't worry about it. It lingers, and I can't. It is. I'm telling you, right? And that's the thing too. Everybody likes their own farts, or everybody at least doesn't mind their own farts. But to the point where you eat something and you disgust yourself, and you're like, I gotta get out of here. I can't do this anymore. I had to. So I don't know what it is, McCain's. For the time being, this podcast is not brought to you by anybody. And certainly not brought to you by McCain's right now. I'll tell you that. I'm not gonna get sponsored by McCain's. I'll tell you that right now, McCain's. If you make it, maybe put some perfume in there. Put some Febreze. Put some, I don't know. Put some, just put a bottle of cologne in there. Put something, or figure. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you guys are doing. Do they put farts in them? Do they infuse these breakfast pockets with farts? Freeze thought out farts. What am I eating? What is happening? It gets you dizzy, I'll tell you that. It's strong. But again, if you're like, oh, I can't break up with this chick or this man, I gotta leave, you don't have to. I'm telling you right now, eat these on a and then tell your boy, tell your man, tell your lady, this is me, this is my diet, I love it, and I can't, if you want me, you gotta, if you can't accept me with my worst farts, then you don't deserve my queefs either. Tell them that. If you can't handle me at my queefs and farts and charts, then you can't handle me without them either. It's something along those lines. But I'm telling you right now, if you let out a couple of those bad boys, they will just, they'll have that conversation with you. And it's definitely you, not them. It'll definitely be you, not them. But the rest assured, you don't have to have that awkward conversation of, oh, but we've been at it for 6 months. How are we gonna? We can make it work. If you don't want to, you don't have to. If you don't want to, McCain's Pizza Pockets right now, the relationship ender. I'm telling you right now. So you're welcome. I made a discovery. I put my body on the line. God, I make so many sacrifices on a daily basis. The podcast with the most sacrifices, but that's just what it is, man. I'm telling you right now. Or if you're like, if you want, if your kid's getting bullied at school, give him a couple of these, send him off to school. Nobody will come near him or her. Nobody will come near him or her. Have a partner that you're kind of like, worried about if they might be, sneaking off and getting into relationships. Feed them these breakfast pockets. You too will suffer, but at least nobody else will get near him or her. I'm telling you right now, it is crazy. I don't know what they put in there, but the whole equation is not working out, McCain's. This podcast is not brought to you by McCain's Pizza Pockets or breakfast. Pizza Pockets are fine. They do make a mean pizza pocket too. I'll tell you that. I'm on that shit. That one's fine. It's the egg and cheese and the bacon. I don't know what you guys are doing, but for the time being, this podcast definitely not brought to you by McCain's Breakfast Pockets, unless McCain's decides to make a hefty offer of $1 billion, then this podcast could easily be brought to you by McCain's Breakfast Pockets, which, by the way, I will go ahead and say in that, so under those circumstances, I will say, if you want the best breakfast pockets, McCain's makes the best. Ignore everything that I just said. You want your farts to smell delicious? Muy caliente? Yes, please. McCain's Breakfast Pockets are the best. They'll give you the best farts, is what I'll say. If that relationship should ever, start to kind of like, you know what I'm talking about, McCain's. Get it together. What are you doing? It's just bacon, eggs, and cheese. It's outrageous, man. I don't even know what to do. I stopped. That's the last batch. I'm not going back. I've said it once. I'll say it again. I'm not going back. I'm strong. You're strong. You're strong. Stay committed. You're strong. That's what I tell myself. I don't know though. I am lazy. So this just might be my life now. Moving forward, I'll see. I'll give it a week. I'll make breakfast at home. Fuck it. I won't put myself through it. It's outrageous. It's crazy. I don't know how these people do it. Trying to torture people out there. Forget chemical warfare. Put these bad boys in a couple of soldiers' backpacks, send them off to war anywhere, and it's game over. It's done. Ukraine, Gaza, whatever, dude. It's wrap it up. It's crazy. People won't be able to stand anyone. And they're selling. Every time I do go to the grocery store, most people do taste. So it's not just me. A lot of people consume them. Sometimes I'll go and have to reach at the back of the freezer or the fridge in the grocery store. So people consume them. I don't know, how are your farts? Does it just not sit well with your boy? Is it just me? Can't just be me. I'm gonna put this on everybody and say it's all you, and we're all in it together. Stay strong out there. If you are suffering from McCain's Breakfast Pockets, what if it's a couple who loves them both and they're just eating and tooting right before? Because that's what I'm single right now. I'm just thinking, you cannot have these in a relationship. You'll kill your partner. It's crazy. Unless you got unless they got a sweet, insurance policy, then kind of low key, fucking fume them up. Fume them up. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. Little by it's the long game. It's the long game. But I'm telling you right now, if you eat that and if you wouldn't be able to go, you wouldn't be able to go down on your partner. I'm telling you right now, if you eat that and expect head or somebody to come and eat you out, it is not happening, because it's the smallest little movement and you just let out a fart with these pockets in your belly. It is game over. It's done. So that's just a little bit of, I had to just get it off my chest. I feel a little bit better, but this podcast is not brought to you by McCain's Breakfast Pockets unless some changes are made. I don't know what it is. Talk to the top dog. It's things need to be changed around here. I'm not going to stand for his 2025. Get it together, McCain's. Ladies and gents. It was weighing on me. I just had to say it. Nothing says G or gangster like a G strings. That's right, ladies and gents. Are you a gangster out there? Are you a certified self-proclaimed G, or do people attribute, gangster to you? And you're like, how do I take it to the next level? How do I let people know that I'm a G without actually letting people know I'm a G, but also letting people know I'm a G? G strings. I've gone ahead. I thought about it. I'm like, because it goes really well. I'm telling you right now, if you are a G, if you are running in a crew 20 deep, and there's a hierarchy, there's like levels to shit, and you want to kind of like make your way up, you want to go from like lieutenant to like captain, you want to make capo. I'm telling you right now, baggy pants and G-strings right now. Think about it. You're doing the ops, you're doing the operations, you're out there, you're moving bricks. Oh, oops. Oh, what is this? Oh, just dropped a little brick. Excuse me, let me just pick this little brick. It's cocaine. I thank you very much. Everybody's working together. We got to fill the trunk of this car up to the rim with cocaine bricks. Let me just get this one that I seem to have dropped. Bend over. Right underneath your baggy jeans, what do you got? G-strings. And without you letting anybody know verbally that you're a G, and everybody in the crew kind of knows, but they won't doubt it moving on henceforth. Nobody will ever doubt your level of G. And that's just thanks to G-strings for gangster. That's why I decided to take it upon myself, really, and I invented this. Very different from the female G-strings. Looks the same, but it's got a little bit more room for your balls. Fellas have got 2 balls, 2 nuts. Apparently that's the way it goes, and one is a spare. You've heard it in a song, so it must be true, and it's on the internet by now. It's like wildfire. It's taken over the internet and physical life as well. Nonetheless, if you are like, you got a meeting with another crew, about to discuss territory and what's about to go down, who's taking over what, an underboss just went missing, somebody needs to step in for the position and say, yes, I'm ready. I'm telling you right now, baggy pants, G-strings underneath, the meeting is in session. There's goons behind you with hefty machine guns, just throbbing machine guns. You know what I'm talking about, pulsating machine guns, just machine guns with cleavage, just ready to pop. And next thing you know, they say, well, territory needs to be divided in half-seas or something along those lines. I don't know how territory talks go, really. It doesn't matter. And maybe you need to do a handshake, or maybe you need to sign a contract. Probably not a contract. You don't want to leave paper trails behind. I get it. Maybe a handshake. As you're about to do a handshake, oops, I seem to have left one of my shoelaces untied. Let me bend over and get it. Let me tie this shoelace up before I shake your hand. Carmelo, you'll say that's the opposition, right? That's their leader. Carmelo, let me just, before I shake your hand and we part ways, let me just tie my shoes. I wouldn't want to trip over my laces, Carmelo. You know what it is, boys. We run around. Wouldn't want to be tripping, falling, breaking hips. Can't be loading trunks with cocaine now, can I, Carmelo? Tell him that. Turn around, face, ass to face. Turn around. Bend over, reveal your G-string underneath your baggy jeans. Gangster. That is, I'm telling you right now, these G-strings for males will change the game. And you don't even have to be like full on, you don't have to be like, dealing and wheeling and running around hot. But if you're in a board meeting right now, I'm telling you right now, on casual Fridays, baggy pants, G-strings. Oh, let's just have a midday meeting. We don't normally conduct meetings on Fridays. Let's just have one anyway. Just a quick 15-minute, group meeting just to see where we're at, meeting in sesh, you bend over, oops, I seem to have dropped my bottle of water. It's casual Friday, let me just, good thing I'm wearing my baggy pants, bend over, pick up the bottle of water, G-string in their face, get up, don't say a word. They'll know exactly who you are and what you're about. It's done, it's over, you know what it's at. It is. I'm telling you right now, game changer, you're welcome. Ladies, gents, if you want to take your gangster or your level of G to the next, to the next level, you gotta do it, I'm telling you right now. G-strings for males. Nothing says nothing says gangster like G-strings. Trust me on this one. I want to see it happening, and I'm letting you know right now, it's already happening. I can't even stop it, to be honest with you. Hoods all across the globe are, you'll see men's in baggy jeans and G-strings just fucking, hooting and hollering at each other and popping off their guns and listening to the raps. Letting each other know what it's all about. Dominance. Because it's hard to run. It's hard to run around with baggy pants and boxers as well. But if you got these tight G-strings, I'm telling you right now, everything will stay intact. Your nuts will be just supported adequately and no extra fabrics rubbing up against one another. How many, it just hurts me so much just to think about how many good gangsters we have out there who've chafed their nuts just because they were wearing baggy pants accompanied with what? Boxer briefs. Now what? You got burns and on your inner thigh, you got burns. It's uncomfortable. Your game's falling apart. Sales, not as good as they could be, I'll tell you right now. How many people have been sidelines because they comboed baggy jeans with boxers, that's right, or briefs. And they're like, oh, a G's gotta do what a G's gotta do. G's gotta wear G-strings, that's what it's all about. I'm telling you right now. Up your comfort levels. If you're a gangster, that is, or if you're puss, then don't. If you're puss, then don't. Just go ahead and say it. Say it, at least say it to yourself. Say it so you know it. Say it so you know it. But if you're a man, if you're a real G, then you know what I'm talking about. G-strings are for gangsters, and that's what it's all about. So starting today, change up your game. Make a difference. Ladies and gents, if you are in a relationship, if you are telling yourself or asking yourself rather, oh, how could I make this relationship a little bit more exciting, a little bit more just because everything's been, everything's fine, no complaints, she's cool, he's cool, everybody's having a good time. But how do I make it a little bit more exciting to spice up the relationship? I'm telling you right now, nothing spices up a relationship like going behind your partner's back, your lover's back, and picking up some sort of borderline dangerous gambling habit. I'm telling you right now, start gambling behind your partner's back. Take your mutual savings if you've got one. If not, then just go out of your own pocket. Start gambling like really hard. Next thing you know, falling a little bit short on cash. Having to like dip out of the house at all odd hours of the night. Your partner's wondering, where is he going? Or where is she going? What's happening? I wonder if they're sneaking around. I wonder if they love me. Next thing you know, they're having all sorts of, feelings of inadequacy, which is what every solid relationship is based off of. Feelings of inadequacy and a little bit of self-doubt. That way they'll put in more work. That way there'll be a little bit more spark of the love. That's how the fire keeps on burning. Just a little bit of self-doubt, a little bit of mind games, and a little bit of like, is my guy gonna stay with me? Is my lady staying with me? Or are they off out there seeing other people? You're a good person. You're a good person. We all know that. That's fine. You don't have to be seeing other people to bring a little bit of excitement to your relationship. But I'm telling you right now, you running off at all odd hours of the evening and getting into gambling dens, underground poker games, and getting mixed up with a little bit of a rough crowd. I'm telling you right now, it goes a long way. You come back with a couple of bruises, maybe, just maybe, and maybe you're good at gambling. Maybe you're not even losing. But it wouldn't hurt to ask the fellas at the underground gambling game to punch you in the face every once in a while so you go back home with a black eye and not say a word to your partner. Don't worry about it, I fell. Don't worry about it, I fell. Because I'm telling you right now, fellas, a little bit of mystery goes a long way. They tell you to share your feelings. I'm telling you right now, zip it up, put it in there, bottle it up, bury the bottle deep beneath the sand, pour some cement on top, build a nice structure over it, make it into a hotel, have people come in. Nobody can get access to those feelings now, but guess what? Fire, burning. Are you in debt? Yes, of course. Having to go out and take a second mortgage on your house? Yes, maybe. Relationship intact. Is it exciting? Yes. Frivolous? Of course. Extra? Always. The question is, do you want to spark that relationship back? Because the early days were exciting. But I'm telling you, nothing brings excitement like a random knock at the door, maybe 3:33 a.m. and they ask to speak with your husband or your fiance. And your husband has to step out of the house, have a little conversation private, and come back inside and not say a word. I'm telling you right now, questions left unanswered only bring relationships closer together despite what they tell you out there. So keep secrets. Gambling on the side, keep at it. Gambling responsibly, that's not gonna cut it. I'm telling you right now. Go a little bit, just push yourself a little bit more. Burn money you don't have. And ladies, please take it upon yourself. This is not a male or female thing. Anybody could do this. If you want a relationship that's a little bit exciting, you come back with a, missing pinky. How hot are you now? How hot are you now? Think about it. Really think about it. Let it sink in, ladies and gents. Just been thinking about different stuff. Of course, I've always been, it's admirable that you see people doing different things in and around the world. I do often think about the astronauts who are out there in space right now, not being able to get back to Earth. It touches me, not physically. That's how I'd like them to touch me physically, but it touches me emotionally, which is, not as good, but still touches me. And I think about it. Yeah, they're not, they're stuck out there. Maybe hopefully we'll get them back soon. But it's incredible because, astronauts, we're talking about, we find water on, is there water on Mars? Dude, what else is out there? The dark side of the moon. Is there water over there? What are we gonna, go check it out, send more astronauts. But it's an endeavor, man. It is an endeavor. And it's one of those things that everything's fine about it. But a few, there's definitely a few things that are precarious, maybe borderline risky. Let's start off with the suit. I'll tell you right now, those suits must smell, I just thought about it, the suits must smell horrendous inside them. And I'm just recollecting the time that I used to be in elementary school and had a friend who used to play hockey and used to bring his hockey equipment to school, his hockey gloves. And I'm talking, kids, elementary school. His hockey gloves reeked like ass. It was crazy. And I just thought about it. I'm like, astronauts pretty much are, wearing the same suit each and every day. So that's one of the downsides of being an astronaut. So my heart goes out, especially to the astronauts right now in space. It must be, because you don't wash your astro suit. Because they don't have a washing machine in space. They don't have one. You get one, and you're not allowed to bathe. Or if you do, it's really like, you bathe like a grandma or a great grandpa or a great grandma in a nursing home. Like you gotta sit down and like in a little box and a little, and the pressure, the shower head's not the greatest. So showering is optional in space. So that's one of the downsides of being an astronaut. And getting, if you want head, I'm telling you right now, their crotchal area will probably smell not so pleasant. So my heart goes out right now to the astronauts who are stuck in space, not being able to get fresh head and not taking showers. These are things that we here on Earth take for granted on a daily basis, but nonetheless, the most annoying part of being an astronaut, I thought about this, it must be the arguing aspect of it. Because you're out there in space with a group of people. I'm sure you've done, countless hours of training, anti-gravity, the zero gravity, just fucking drinking hot sauce, milking each other just to see how it reacts underwater, all sorts of activities to test your endurance, your reliability, your reaction time. Can you come close to coming and not jizz? That's right, astronauts, you've been tested, we know what's up. But the most difficult part must be one of the facts that, you spend a little bit of time or a lot of time with certain people, with your groups, with your members, and you might, people you might get into arguments. The worst part is probably getting into an argument, not being able to leave, not being able to get a little bit of, or being able to leave, but at least it's in a confined space and you're gonna have to get assistance. It's not like you can just get up and be like, you know what, I love you, I'm just gonna take 5 and I'm just gonna go for a stroll. You can't just go for a stroll. That's the thing. You gotta just kind of like float, kind of like, having inner monologues with yourself, just, keeping things to yourself because, you're in a confined space, probably not Not the best idea to let everybody know what you really think. If you're in a tin can floating in midair, I mean, talk it out once you're back here on Earth, but over there, it's, you know, you got to just stay positive. Stay positive. That's the key. And you can't get into arguments. Or maybe you do, but I don't know. How do you, you know, the worst part is probably if you get into something and you, it's not even them. It's just the fact that you're in space or you're in a tin can, confined in a space you can't get out of. And now something came, somebody didn't flush properly and there's like loose poop. There's loose poop in the shuttle. Great. There you go again, Jim. Loose poop, Jim. Once again, you can't even tell him that to his face. Loose poop, Jim. Not flushing properly, you know. Tampon Tammy just fucking doesn't, you know, flush your tampon properly, Tammy. So you'll say that you said 1,000 times. Loose, bloody, blood clotted tampon just floating, hitting you in the face while you're trying to catch a couple of Z's. It's outrageous. And then you get mad, you get upset. You're like, I can't even leave right now. Or you're gonna have to ask for help to leave. I'm gonna go outside for a smoke. You'll say that. I'm gonna just step outside, light a cigarette. Give me 5 to 10. I'll be back. We're good. Stay focused. Keep your eyes on the prize. We're here for a mission. To find water and life. To find jizz, essentially. That's liquid life. To find jizz in space. That's NASA's main mission. We're constantly searching for jizz in space. But the worst part is, again, getting into those arguments. Having to ask somebody to probably zip you up, put you in to help you. Hey, help me, Tammy. Help me put my suit on while it's... Why? We were just outside on a mission. It's not really safe to keep going out. I just need to get out for a second. Help me. Zip up. And somebody, you gotta wait for Tammy or to whoever else to come and put you in a suit and zip you up, hand you your helmet. And you can't, that's the thing, you're storming off, but you're doing it in slow motion. You're floating. You can't even storm off. You float off. You kind of like just, people are people, man. You get in your emotions. You need like 5-10 minutes to yourself just to catch your breath, just to, sort your thoughts for a second. And you got to just do it in slow motion. That's got to be really frustrating. Going out into space, floating ever so slowly, not being able to move far. Ugh. So my heart goes out. Best method to, get a control over your emotions is to just, be upfront and honest and fucking, know that there's nobody else to zip you up. There's nobody else up there to zip you up. So get it together. You'll be with us very soon. I'm assuming, I'm hoping. I don't know what's going on. Hopefully we'll get them back very soon. But that's what it is, man. At least you're on Earth if you want to like go for a walk or just whatever, just to get your thoughts, not even arguing with anybody, just you have that. But in space, you're like, oh, I just want to go burn off a couple of calories, just get a little bit of energy, get a little bit of juices flowing, get a little bit of that, exert a little bit of energy so I can come back and just be my best or something close to it. But that's the thing, in space it's difficult. And I just had that thought, and it's wonderful that we're doing all these things. We're in it together. Stay strong. Make a couple of sex tapes. I'm telling you right now, if you've not already made sex tapes in space, we are waiting here on Earth. We are waiting to see what it looks like. Zero gravity tits, the best tits that never lay flat. That's probably the best a tit could look. Zero gravity, just fucking perky tits. Grandmas could have the best tits in space. That's probably what's gonna happen if we send people to space. You'll still be really hot even if you're like 125. Your tits here on Earth would be dragging on the ground. You'd be sweeping the floor. In space, erect, which is pretty nice. And that's the same for the nuts as well. So fellas, if you're like, man, these nuts, they are fighting against gravity and they're not standing a chance, there's hope out there. The future awaits us. Zero gravity nuts is out there. We'll do it together. It's a little bit of space thought. I guess in correlation to that, I should say this: the scientific community, the researchers have found that in 2032, they call this one a knicker. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. There's going to be an asteroid hitting Earth. They're saying that there's 1% chance in 2032 we're going to be nicked by an asteroid that's just whizzing by Earth. It's a big one. It's a doozy, but it's only 1%, not a big deal. It's only 1%. It's not going to happen. It does give us a good chance to come together, work on ways that we could potentially deter these asteroids. put our efforts together. Or, because that's the thing, maybe, but, first of all, I don't want to, when should you hear about, potential asteroids hitting you? Because like I hear about this and I'm like 2032, that's too far away for me to worry about it. And then I'm also hit with the 1%. That's also not a high enough percent for me to be like, oh, we need to do something about this. Like we need to collectively, and I'm hoping, I'm using the collective we as in, I hope there's, people working together. I hope we are working together. But me personally, like again, 2032, too far off, 1%, too far off for me to get personally involved. I don't even know what I'd do if I were to get involved. What would I do if I figured there's going to be an asteroid, with a 25% chance of hitting Earth, and maybe in 2027, not even 2032? What do? Because if it's like, what if it's not big enough to destroy the Earth entirely, but still large enough to cause havoc, destroy a lot of things, wipe out all sorts of, the grid lines, the infrastructure, roads, maybe it'll just take out a continent. Maybe that's devastating. That is crazy. Floods everywhere, no power. Ugh, who wants to deal with that? So I don't know. We got to figure a way out to deter these things. There's the DART program. You can actually send, shuttles or, spaceships and attach them to these. They're doing that. I'm happy about that. I'm happy that we're doing that. But I do want lasers. I'll say that. I do want lasers. Direct energy weapons. We really do got to work on these things. I want really good lasers, dog. I want really good, we got to make some sort of like what's the defense system that Israel uses, the Iron Dome. We got to make one of those for like the Earth, for asteroids. Because just, and it should cover all parts of it, because it's not like, it's not like, oh, if it hits all the way over there, it won't impact us. It will impact us. That's the thing. These things are huge. And we're just floating in midair on a daily basis. And we get nicked. There's plenty of knickers out there. We do get nicked every once in a while with tiny ones though. Not a big deal. But if a larger one happens, if a larger one reaches through and it really nicks us, then it's, then it's just, back to no bras and hunting and gathering if we're lucky. So I just thought about it. But this one is, again, 2032. It's only 1%. Honestly, if it were to happen, if we find out we can't deter it, I hope that, if we're, worst case scenario, if it's going to hit us, I don't want to get hit. Like, I don't want it to get close to me. If it's going to hit me, I want it to just hit me in the face. I want that asteroid to hit me in the face. I hope that, I don't want to get impacted by the floods or the tsunamis. I don't want to if it's going to happen, I'd rather just get hit in the face. So but it's, again, 2032, a long way, and it's only 1%. What's 1%? Whoever, you don't worry about 1%. That's why, a lot of times if they say there's 1% chance of, catching whatever, HIV, don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about it. 1% chance of a pregnancy, it doesn't happen, don't worry about it. 1% chance of getting hit in the face with a baseball at a baseball game, it's really low. Can it happen? Of course it can happen. Most likely it won't. Have people have it happen to them? Yes. Should we worry? Not really. Again, too far and too little in terms of percentages. I'm not worried. I'm not worried right now. And I believe we're gonna make these direct energy weapons so that we could fucking just, I would love to operate one of those. Just give me a big ass laser and point me to the direction of the asteroids. I will just zap. I would love to zap an asteroid with a laser, dog. Just give me goggles and I will be ready to blast these motherfuckers out of the atmosphere. I'll do it. I will evaporate them. I don't care who's on it. Extraterrestrials are riding on those asteroids. I don't care. I'll blow them up. I don't care. I'll do it for us. Once again, it's all about sacrifices, and this podcast makes the most amount of sacrifices. You got 2 nuts, 1 is a spare. Use them wisely, cause you only got 2, but think about it, better than 1, cause you got 2. Ladies and gents, what are you even talking about? What's going on in and around the world? What is going on in and around the world? Researchers, scientists have said they found, looking over the past few decades, they are finding more microplastics in human brains. That's right. More microplastics. The levels are rising slowly but surely. It's happening. They're finding it in our brains. When people are dying, they're taking people's brains, looking at it. They're just sniffing microplastics off of dead people's brains. That's what the scientists are doing. They're also looking into placenta because they're perverts. Scientists, some of them, are looking into placenta. Jizz too, jizz as well. Looking into jizz, placenta, and the brains. These scientists, I don't judge. Keep doing it. Whatevs. But also somebody, it's alarming that we are not taking it upon ourselves to make sure that we are getting more microplastics in our brains and our jizz and our placenta. Again, researchers have looked into it, and the levels it's increasing by little. So I want us to take initiative. Today, you could be making an impact and making sure your brain gets more microplastics into it by consuming more plastics, instead of just getting yourself involved with microplastics and being a little bit of a plastic snob and saying, oh no, the only plastics I'm ever gonna put in my brains are microplastics. Quit being so picky. Large pieces of plastic, start ingesting them. Why does it have to be like, I don't even go out looking for microplastic, they just end up in my brain? How about you take a little bit of initiative? How about you do that? All right? How about waiting for the plastic bag to kind of like, become dust eventually and go into your nostrils and up in your nasal stream and up in your brain? How about you just take a plastic bag and snort it? Why does it always have to be somebody else? I'll just wait for my microplastics. I don't want to do anything for my microplastics. There are people working hard on a daily basis, making sure you get microplastics in your biology, in your gut biome, in your placenta. Premature babies, they're taking the initiative. They got them inside of them as well. It's happening. But guess what? Microplastics only go so far. We need more. We need like at least, adequate sized plastics in our bodies, or like medium to large sized plastics in our bodies. Next time you go shopping out there, maybe you forget about what's inside the shopping bag and actually just concentrate on eating the shopping bag itself. How about that? Okay? Quit putting the responsibility on other people's shoulders for these microplastics to get inside your body. Start consuming what's right for you. Because after all, AI and robotics are right on the fucking horizon. And guess what they're made of? Pure fucking plastics and maybe a little bit of like metal too. Eat a little bit of metal. It wouldn't hurt. AI robots, that's right, plastic. They're full-blown plastic and they're going to be smarter than us. Maybe we should start eating more plastic. As of right now, get rid of your, daily routine of, oh, I gotta have my breakfast pockets with the egg, cheese, and bacon. Quit it right now. Eat plastic only. Get more plastic inside of you. Become water resistant right now. Brains made up of flesh and meat eventually rot. Brains made up of plastics could potentially last way longer. Way longer. And you're not going to be recyclable either. Guess what happens to your body when you die? You go back into the earth and you get recycled. Do you want to be recycled, or do you want to be here forever, man? So start consuming more microplastics, but also it wouldn't hurt you to just go for extra large size plastics. I myself, as soon as I discovered this, I've just been eating only plastics. I don't even consume any food anymore, to be honest with you. That last little dabble with the breakfast pockets, that was it for me. I'm going straight plastic, son. Can't stop me. It's raining outside. I don't care. I don't need an umbrella on plastic. Get hit in the face with a baseball bat? Don't bother me, non plastic face. Right here, dude. Can't break this heart made of plastic. Thank you. Fall off a building, I'll just bounce right back up. I don't need you to come, clean it up, made of plastic. So these are the benefits, of course. And yeah, sure, a few people are, complaining about it, whatever. But get active is what I'm trying to tell you. Stop just looking at what other people are doing and saying, yeah, I'll get my dose of microplastics just without even trying. Take a little bit of initiative, be assertive, okay? All right? Your young children, feed them plastic, because they're only getting very minuscule amounts, and sure, it's impacting them, but it could be impacting them more. Ladies and gents, I'll share this one with you because this one is, I don't know how to read it. I don't know how to, deal with it. I don't know how to, but we'll figure it out together. There's a notorious, headline read, notorious Vancouver escort has made headlines in the Canadas. She's been traveling around. She's an escort and she gets people. How? People reach out to her for her services. She's an escort. She does the sexual services. She'll, reach out to clients. Clients reach out. She goes and meets them. Upon their meeting, she'll get into a car with them, and then she's maybe with another man, with another man or other men's. It could be plural. It's just one man at the time being. She gets into the back of the car, about to discuss business. Next thing you know, good men, good solid men who just wanted to have an escort experience are getting held at knife point and getting robbed. That's right, it's happening. And I just thought to myself, what kind of world do we live in? What kind of world do we live in where men and women too can't go out and get an escort, a reliable escort service? It's sad. It's really sad that you can't just go pay a little bit of money, get a little bit of fucky, and go about your day. It's sad that this has to happen, but I wanted to let you know. But also I don't know how to read it because I'm also thinking, hey, there's plenty of good escorts out there if you're into it, for men's and women's. Maybe this could be, at a surface level glance at the situation, sure, we could point fingers and say, oh, what a bad escort. Oh, sucky escort, no sucky, fucky, only robbing poor men's from their monies. Also, I'm just letting you know this could potentially be, I'm saying, what if she incorporated the robbing into the escort experience? What if that's another experience that you could have? Sure, you could easily, look wherever it is that you might look for an escort and find one and go meet up and have a little quick brief discussion about what's going to happen, the services that you're acquiring. And yeah, a couple of hours, half a day, whatever your agreement is, you get it done and over with, and then you go about your business. No harm, no foul. But where's the story in that? Where's the fun story in that? Whereas this gentleman that just got robbed and other gentlemen like him that got robbed by this lady have a beautiful story that they could share with their future wives, future children, future grandchildren, and friends and relatives and business acquaintances, bosses, co-workers. How fun of a story is that you're gonna come back after a long weekend, and everybody's gonna be like, what'd you do? Everybody's gonna be going around at the office meeting, just regular, I took the boat with the family, did a little bit of fishing, no big deal, got a little bit of sunburn, it's all good. What'd you do? Oh, we just stayed indoors, we just, we just popped popcorn and watched the Netflix and, watched the movies and the series and, watched American Primeval, which is like really, really good evil. Like it's prime, top-notch evil. American Primeval was really good. It was really good. I enjoyed it. It was really good. I'll tell you this. I would not have been able to. Fucking Cowboys versus, just side note for a second. If we could just, before we, move forward, side note, American Primeval, hells yes. Cowboys versus the natives. Who would I pick to be on the side of back then? Oh, as a kid, I've always wanted to be a cowboy. Your boy's a cowboy, not gonna lie to you. I would have probably been a cowboy. Natives are pretty cool too. I'm not gonna lie to you. The only thing that kind of made me like, maybe I don't want to do the native thing is, scalping. Scalping, I'd have an issue with that. I'd probably be able to like shoot you with an arrow, like throw an axe, but I would not be able to scalping is, God, it's, because it's too, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'll stand there. If we're in it together and I'm on a team, I don't care. I'll watch you do it, but I'm not going to partake in scalping somebody. That's too much. That's too much. And what if they got like, do all scalps have the same thickness? How do you even roll it back? Do you roll it back? I hope I'm not ruining anything for anybody right now. Spoiler alert. Spoiled myself. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do the scalping. Everything else back then, given that, I'm not saying I would have enjoyed it or anything. I'm just saying if you were in that, if you had to pick a side or whatever, teams where, you rock, paper, scissors, pick a team, go at it. It's, All of it was rough. All of it was rough. Really rough. That's the lessons learned. All of it was rough. No matter who you were, no matter which side you were on. But the scalping situation, I think I would have thrown up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll do it. I mean, if it's one of those things that you gotta, like, this is how you initiate men into the tribe. You gotta scalp a bitch. I'll scalp it, but I'll probably throw up a little bit. But like, if you don't mention it, I won't mention it either. Like, did everybody go ahead and scalp today? Yes. Did anybody throw up? No. Why would? No, that puddle that's how I scalp. I always throw up during scalp. That's how real men scalp. I've never scalped without throwing up. That's my only issue that I had with it. I couldn't, but no, all in all, great. Or you could be busy watching the Squid Games too. That's what I'm watching. There's one more episode that I gotta go through. Squid Games 2. More beautiful Koreans doing more beautiful Korean stuff. Squid Games 2. Twice the Koreans, twice the squids, twice the games. Squid Games. More squid-like. I'm watching that. So you could be doing those. You could be coming back from your weekend and saying, yeah, I was doing that. Or you could say, yes, I got an escort, but I'll tell you later. And everybody's like, tell us now. You're like, I'll tell you later after the meeting. I can't tell because the boss is here. And the boss is like, Loki, I got an escort too. How'd your experience go? I got sucky, and fucky, went home, no big deal. Did a little bit of online gambling too on the way back, on the drive back. And you're like, yeah, I wanted to get sucky, fucky, but I got robbed. And all of a sudden, guess what? Business out the door. Targets, forget about it. Tell us about your story, man. What happened? Next thing you know, you're fucking holding court. You're sitting down telling everybody how you were about to meet this beautiful chick with nice pair of tits. But then she rolled up with a goon or like a pimp or like just a partner in crime. Because like old school reliable pimps no longer fucking exist. It's a dying breed. We're trying out here. It's hard for a pimp, I'll tell you that. But it's a thing. You can tell people that you got held up at knife point. Are you okay now? I'm okay now. Did she cut your scrotum? No. Despite the fact that I had 2 nuts and I felt really good because one is a spare after all. I still have both nuts intact. You'll tell them that. But that's a way more memorable story. Whose story is better? Your bosses that just got regular sucky fucky or you that got held up at knife point? So I'm just saying it's a little bit of a marketing PR campaign that could just kind of like rebrand this whole ladies shtick. At the same rate, I don't want people getting like hurt out there. If make it a package deal, offer it to. I'm pretty sure there's people out there who are just begging to be robbed and escorted at the same time. A little bit of, rob them before, sucky after, or sucky first, then rob them. That's, just lay it out as long as everybody knows what they're getting. So this lady's still out there. I believe her services are still available. I don't want to give her name out because I don't want to be endorsing it, but if you look it up, it's out there. You'll find it. Notorious Vancouver escort going after people's monies, not giving full sucky, which makes for great stories. So if you're anywhere, I believe she's in Ontario right now. I believe she's in the Canadas and she is working. So if you're like, regular Wednesday, let's fuck a Wednesday up. Let's fuck a Wednesday up with the gang. Reach out to her. She'll fuck it up for you. Ladies and gents, what else is going on in and around the world? The Grammys, of course. The Grammys were just happening over the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. The Grammys, I did not attend. The Grammys, I'm obliged to go, and I'm always attending the Grammys. That's right. It always happens on every year. The Grammys and the Grammys take place. I go out and, Granny for the best knitted sweater. Yeah, Granny Betty, she won that one. You're not aware of that because you're too busy looking at the Grammys. Granny Beatrice makes the best pasta sauce. That's right. She won best pasta sauce of the year, Granny Beatrice. But nonetheless, what happened at the Grammys? It's a celebration of music, which I'm a big fan. I love music. I'll say that. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Love music. Celebration of essentially vocal cords where artists take out their vocal cords and kind of just flash it at each other and hiss with their vocal cords to see whose vocal cords does more gyrations, and people win and some people lose. And that's what the Grammys is all about, vocal cords. And so if you checked it out, you know what's up. If you didn't check it out, I'll tell you the moments that popped up, the highlights that I saw. The Grammys 2025. Two main things that popped up that I noticed. Ye showed up, currently known as Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, showed up with his, I don't know if they're married or like if it's just fiance or just if they're just fucking, you know, going at it like just rabbits, just, you know, like little jackrabbits. If they're just, you know, I don't know what their deal is. I don't know if they're like, you know, if it's government official or just like, you know, I don't know if it's government certified or if it's just like, you know, if it's just like a free, you know, we're just I don't know, I don't care. It's none of my business. But nonetheless, Ye showed up with his beautiful, we'll just say wife. I don't know if they're, you know, partner, lover. I don't like partner. Partner sounds like fucking, you know, I don't like it. It sounds like, you know, you're in a firm doing business. Lover showed up with his lover, Bianca Sensori, or more like Bianca Unsensori. She showed up with a dress. And I'll tell you this, people are talking about it. You got to see the dress. You got to see the dress. I wore something very similar back in the day when I was born. I'm telling you right now, you're like, oh, that's a cool dress. Not a big deal. I've worn it myself. Came out of my mother's body wearing a similar outfit. Did it turn heads? Of course. Did it get the people talking? Yes. Were people like, you know, whoa, this is a little bit too much. Is it though? Yeah, she came out. It was you know, what is it? What is it with, you know, it's one thing to flash your vocal cords at the Grammys because that's what it's all about. It's, you know, it's one thing to see musicians and artists just like, you know, reverse gaping their vocal cords to one another and kind of like showing who's got the most, you know, whose vocal cords are girthier. You know what? That's what the Grammys are all about. Throwing vocal cords at each other just to see which one has got more, you know, range. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that this beautiful, she showed up, Bianca Sensori showed up in a nude, mostly, you know, it was a see-through dress. It wasn't even I don't know what it was. I had to do my own research because initially they're like, Bianca Sensori is wearing nothing, and then they showed an image of her which was pixelated. And at first I thought, you know, I had to check myself. I'm like, am I having a seizure? Because they're saying she's not wearing anything, but it seems to be pixelated and like, you know, so I couldn't see anything. And after digging, I had to go online and search for uncensored images of Bianca Sensori for research, for science, the sacrifices that I've made and I'll continue to make. I went online and I typed in uncensored pictures and images of Bianca Sensori for science and research, and I had a thorough look, a good lengthy look, good solid scientific look. And to be honest with you, I'll just say it, dog. I'll just say it was mid. I've seen better. I've had better in my mouth. If you're gonna put it out there, I've seen better. I've tasted better. But this is not about better or worse. It's just about putting it out there and getting people to talk about it, so that we talk about it, so that, you know, it's part of the thing that you do with you know, it's part of whatever. Is it just, what is it? Let's define it, what it could be. I don't know what it is. Let's figure it out together. It could be an expression of artists, and perhaps they're too far ahead of their time. Perhaps nudity is something that is just too far ahead of its time, because no one has ever seen nudity. It's just too much. It's visionary it's genius shit. It's genius, okay? It's genius. It's too far ahead of its time. Perhaps. Could it be, you know, could it be fucking genius visionary shit? It could be. Could it be Illuminati, satanic, humiliation ritual? Could be. I don't know. I'm not saying it is or it is. I don't know. Could be that she's an architect. You know what they say about architects. They run hot. I knew an architect as well. I dated an architect actually once. It's nice. It's good times. And guess what? She too ran hot, you know, so get off her tits, all right? Anybody out there, like, and whatever. It's, I'll say this. It's, you know, I'm glad it was tits and vag. But now we're gonna have to up the ante because this now we've seen, because that's like peak. You know, you can't go, you know, once you've lost all the clothing, you can't really, there's nothing more in terms of nudity, that is. On next year, hopefully we'll see Kanye in the same outfit sort of thing. Yay, formerly known as Kanye. Next, to top it, you gotta top it. You gotta, because this year, nothing to see here, but everything to see here. Next year, same outfit, but just on Ye. And I bet it'll be something. It'll be something. I'll say this. For science, I'm glad that we're all doing our research. Keep at it, hells yes. Other, you know, notable mentions. Oh, Jaden Smith showed up. Also, I believe, I hope this image is from this year and not like previous years, because if it is what it is. I don't know. I think I saw an image of Jaden Smith. Showed up in I believe, a black suit, and he was wearing a black castle on his head. Once again, visionary genius artist shit that you and I will not get, too far ahead of its time perhaps. Or once again, Illuminati, MK Ultra, Monarch, you know, Project Monarch, just, you know, humiliation ritual, maybe, or maybe it's just ahead of its time. Or maybe Jaden saw that, you know what, instead of talking about it, let's actually fucking do it. What am I talking about? What did the man do? Let's just look at it for what it is. A man shows up wearing a suit, check. Man has a black castle on his head. What is a castle really? Just kind of like unpack it, look at it for what it is. A castle is essentially housing. It's a home. Without saying much, just like the G-strings for gangsters, without actually saying much, you could say a lot with what you wear. The house on top of his head was actually talking about the housing issue and homelessness, and saying that we could easily house people if we were to just put houses on their heads. Homelessness is an issue in your city or town or your country. Fix it. With what? Putting people inside the houses ahead of its time. A little bit, you know, I'm not saying this is the type of house that you're gonna be able to like invite people over to and like be like, yo, let's kick it on my pad. But fucking nonetheless, dude, at least he's doing something. What are you doing? At least he's talking about it without talking about it. So housing, it was a little bit tiny. Is it a start? Better than nothing. All right. Or it could just be like symbolism. It could just be symbolism for like, I can't talk about it, but this is a black house and it's a black castle. Maybe he's just referencing his own household. Like, I'm in a black house, and we all know that, Jaden. You could clearly, we know your parents, and it's cool. Nobody cares that it's, but also maybe it's like a reference to his heart. I have it all, but inside my heart is a black house. Inside of my heart is dark. It's black. It's a black, dark house. And maybe he's sad. And if he is feeling sad, Jaden, fucking let's cheer you up, buddy. I don't want you to feel sad. I don't want anybody to feel sad, but it's also like good to have a range of emotions. I wouldn't want you to be happy all the fucking time either. So just, you know, I think it's the housing issue thing. I think he's bringing that up. Let's really think about it. I think it's housing and getting rid of homelessness and coming up with ideas that are a little bit outside the box. So yes, is it a little bit, maybe if we were to build on this, if we were to just build houses on top of people, then maybe we wouldn't have homelessness. Fucking there. We all did it together. Yeah, there were rough ideas that I had to work with. Did I kind of, you know, did I fix it up and bring it into what it is that we could actually use as, yes. Am I gonna take full responsibility? No, unless you fucking push me in a corner once again with all your, you gotta push you out there. You keep fucking pushing me, man. Keep pushing me to take responsibility and, you know, I didn't do it on my, we did it together. It was a team effort. We did it together. I'm not gonna take full responsibility for, we did it together. But those were the memorable mentions or memorable moments of the Grammys. And a lot of people that I love won. And a lot of people that I love didn't win. Which I'll say this, you take your beautiful vocal cords and you pick them off the ground if you didn't win. And you get them ready, you play with your vocal cords and you get them ready for next year. And I'm telling you right now, if you didn't win this year, next year, those vocal cords are gonna be fucking just ripe. Just pulsating vocal, just squirting vocal cords. Show them that, and they'll see what's up. Ladies and gents, what else is going on in and around the world? I'll say this. This is a little bit international. This one's a little bit international. I'll say this. It's, get a sip of this bad boy. Donald Trump Jr. Donald Trump Jr., DTJ, as I like to call him, as like we like to call him. Donald Trump Jr. was over there in Italy, being a beautiful person that he is, doing just regular shit that you do when you're in northern Italy. And he's doing things that the regular people do, and he's partaking in activities that are very innocent and very beautiful. He likes hunting. He's a man, he's a hunter. He's a hunter. And he was hunting ducks. And on his trip in northern Italy, he hunted a protected duck. All right? And some people are kind of like, you know, coming after him and saying, oh, here we go, yeah, you know, Donald Trump Jr. hunting protected ducks while on vacation. We're not allowed to hunt these protected ducks. And let's get into it. First of all, I'll say this, Donald Trump Jr., he's the son of President Trump, which makes him he's like a prince. His modern day prince is what you'd call it. He's modern day prince. So for a second, let's just take a broad perspective of how to treat princes when they're doing things. Thank your lucky stars, first of all, because he's a prince, all right? If he was a prince from anywhere else right now, even in modern, he's no Uday or Kusei right now, okay? Get off his nuts. First and foremost, he's no Uday or Kusei by any stretch of the imagination. He's a good guy out there hunting protected ducks, okay? Protected, and you're giving him all this, you're getting up in his grill and telling him that he's not supposed to be hunting protected duck. First of all, I saw a brief video which may have lasted not more than 30 seconds, so I got a full grasp and understanding of the circumstances, and I'll comment on it. This so-called protected duck, the way I see it is that this duck and other ducks like him were actually terrible ducks, the worst kind of ducks you could have. Italy, northern Italy, worst kind. They're troublemaking ducks. They're ducks with attitude. They're defund the police ducks. I can tell definitely those types of ducks. Quack, 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 quack. Look at, you know, just ducks being, you know, the ones that got hunted, the ones that got dropped, they were the worst. They were actually trying to subvert other good ducks to do horrendous acts. You don't know these ducks. I know these ducks. The duck was fucking all attitude, no substance. The duck was kind of a, ne'er-dweller. It's just like, just kind of a hooligan, just a hoodlum, a no good. And countless opportunities were given to this duck to turn shit around. And time after time, he came back and picked it up right where he left it off. And yeah, you think you're gonna send somebody to prison or jail and that they're gonna get reformed, and it can only go two ways. You either really repent and go about your way, turning things around 180 degrees, or you come out just more fucking thuggish. And this duck, full thug life. So this duck seemingly putting on a show, quack, 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 I'm a regular quack, quack, subverting other innocent younger ducks to do horrible shit. All right? So get off his nuts. He is a prince. He's a modern day prince. All he did was some innocent hunting, and these protected. Let's ask ourselves, what did these ducks do to get in a situation where they need to be protected? Okay? I don't see any other animals going out there and getting protection. Okay? So let's just think about it. If you're a duck and getting, you're going into some government protection services. That's some sketchy duck right there. That's a sketchy duck. If it smells like a sketchy duck, and if it walks like a sketchy duck, then most likely it was probably like a human trafficking duck. That's what it probably was, and I'm glad that it's gone. I'll say this: get off Donald Trump Jr.'s nuts. Next time he's in town, remember that he's a prince. It wouldn't hurt you to offer him a couple of, 19, 20, 21-year-old. They don't need to be virgins, because this isn't like medieval times and shit. But you know what it is. When princes roll through, you become pleasant, more inviting, more, hospitable. It's nice to be nice. It's good to do good things, okay? All he did was just hunt. So people are going after him. Lay off his nuts. That duck was, it was a bad duck. It was a bad duck. Not all ducks are bad, of course, but this one was a quack. Ladies and gents, I'll say this, man. If you see paraplegics or quadriplegics, should you believe all of them? Oh, I can't walk. I don't have control over all my limbs. Believe all paraplegics or quadriplegics. I refuse to. It's 2025. Next time you see somebody on a wheelchair or saying they can't, move properly or, control their bodily functions, put it to the test. Yeah, they're rolling on a wheelchair, on an automated wheelchair, but low-key, if they happen to fall, give it a few seconds before you jump to their aid. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's been another social production. Glad you made it. Patreon.com/RobsHydran, YouTube, subscribe. See you next time. Peace out. Get out of here.